welcome back to BSG Annual 2022. I will be your host for the next couple of runs, Killer Chair. Howdy, it's me. And, well, we're gonna have the wonderful Janglestorm play this wonderful little game called Tiny Toon Adventures 2, Montana's Movie Madness. Jangle, take it away.
Thank you, Killer Chair. And yeah, howdy everybody. It's Janglestorm here. Glad to be back here at BSG Annual. It's been a long time, but it's really fun already just being back. And yeah, I'm gonna do my first run of this for you. And there was a donation incentive for hard mode, which actually got mad. So thanks all for donating for that. Which means I'm gonna be playing this game, except on a harder difficulty. So yeah, I'll just explain the game as we start this up. So you go through hard mode, but in order to get there, you have to press another button and then start in order to get that. So I'm gonna do that now. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go. So yeah, we're at this movie theater. Montana Max has this movie theater that opened up, and there's a couple of movies playing. Yeah, it actually turns out that Buster is the villain in all of these movies, and we obviously have to stop that. So that is why we are playing all these movie-themed levels, starting off with this Western-themed level. And yeah, this is on hard mode, so that means you have fewer health than in normal difficulty, and the bosses have more health. And there's also some different enemy placements and such, so it actually makes for a very interesting reroute of sorts. And I think it's a pretty interesting run overall, really, compared to normal mode as well. So in this game, your main mechanics include, well, it's very classic platforming, so there's dashing, but you also have this kicking animation as well, and we use all of that in order to either go fast or deal with those enemies as quickly as possible. And it was, okay, there we go, just had to play it safe. After all, I'm only on 2 health, so I can only take 1 hit before I die. Here's where we avoid some boulders. Nice and easy. Just try to dash, and then basically what I try to do there is you can actually slow yourself down by force, I guess, and you get the slipping animation. You can also just let go, and you just naturally lose momentum, which is sometimes faster. So in this cave, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do that. In this cave, there's a couple of extra, well, bats in this case, and here we kick one. Here we just have to get over here. So there's a couple of enemies that also throw crates, and there's going to be more later on. Normally, I'm not actually able to jump over them, so I usually try to kick them from the side. So just like that. I can actually do a thing here. There's a little bit of time. It's a bit riskier, but if you slow down there's usually a good chance that you might survive regardless. Alright, it's time for the first boss fight. I hope you all enjoy the can-can, because you'll be hearing it a lot in this category. As we fight the cowboy Montana Max, he's throwing around his hat, and we basically have to hit him on the head 5 times in this case. Normally it's 3 times, because usually we have an equal amount of health. We have 3 hearts, but in this case it's 2 against 5, which is totally fair, you know. So we just have to do this a couple of times. We have to avoid the spikes. So the thing is, I am already at half my health. So I'm not going to do it right now, but what I would normally do is I would actually deliberately lose health in order to set up for a faster score countdown. And that was actually the first boss, by the way. So yeah, after each level you get to the score countdown, and now you can sort of see why I'm deliberately trying to lose health here, because it does make it faster. Each heart represents 50 points, or 50 frames in this case, so you can already imagine how much it can save you if you have as few health as possible. Okay, so it's time for a minigame. There's some fun stuff here. We play against Plucky Duck, who's really trying hard to block our basketball moves, and we just try to do this perfect like 3 times in a row. There's some. It can be trolly sometimes. You try to basically hit as close to the OK bar bar as possible, but sometimes you overshoot it in order to still land the hit. Right, it's time for the next movie. It's time for samurai-themed territory. Gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so in this level, yeah, we have it's always nice. They always have these enemy variations. In this case, we have these frogs that we get. I was actually trying to set up for a thing there. I tried to land on a platform, then land a kick from the side, but I didn't quite get the setup there. The main difference here in this difficulty is that they actually they jump up, so you have to keep that in mind as well. Also, one thing I didn't mention, these carrots, those are also extra points. So since they add up to the score countdown, I actually try not to pick them up or as few as possible. So you don't see me actively go for them. They do eventually give you extra lives as such, so they can be handy for that. But normally, I don't really grab them. There's gonna be some places where I will have to pick them up regardless. All right, we go through this room. Over here, they place this lantern here for some reason. You saw them on the rooftop as well. You can see which lanterns actually dropping you, which don't. Here you can choose between two doors, which give you a different room, which eventually merge back to go back to the same room. This is usually the one I take because I find it faster overall, but you can also take the other one. I know that the Taz actually goes for the first room. It does it pretty fast, but there you go. Okay, now we have to wait. We have to wait for these cycles. This water submerges you, or tries to. You basically have to make sure not to land with the water, or it's basically an insta-kill, so just have to watch out for that. It was pretty much on the edge there. But it's fine. Okay, just gonna... Yeah, I'll just play it safe there. They actually throw the fence way farther as well, so it also kind of adds into the routing thingies that you have to do here and there. It's another funny touch there. Now we got some dropping platforms. I try not to jump too late because, you know, don't want that to happen necessarily. And there we go. Okay, it's time for a climb. We're gonna head towards the boss here. We're gonna go for that. You can actually make a very quick jump up there and use the height of your the dash jump to get up there. It does save a little bit of time, but it's also pretty risky. There we go. And for this part, it's all dropping platforms, so you have to watch out regardless. Let's see. There we go. And then this still on hard, so still. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I actually tried to kick him, but at least it's not the worst death. Let's see. Oh, I got hit there. Yeah, everything becomes a lot more risky around that point, so just gonna wait for that, then kick, and then head my way up there, and... Well, I mean, where would the boss be? I mean, we know his name is Max, where would he be? There we go. So now we fight Samurai Max. We basically have to make sure that we jump at exactly the right moment. So as soon as he throws the fan, that's when I'm going to jump as well. And it gives me enough of a window to jump in. And, well, as you would have expected, I am going to do this 5 times in a row. I'm going to concentrate because I actually lost a few lives, but there we go. It's a way quicker boss fight, that's for sure. There's a couple of those. Like compared to the first level, this was like a lot shorter. So I have to say I was a bit scared because I was at the minimum amount of health. But right, so it's time for another minigame. This time around, it's tug of war, and we're not gonna do anything here. So I'm just gonna might just as well hydrate or something. And you can watch us Buster get pulled into the water. This is actually faster than trying to do the trying to win this because it's really hard to do the mashing here. You really have to wait for certain cues. You have to wait for your opponent to be exhausted enough that you can pull him further into the water. But yeah, usually that's just really tough. And also in a speedrun, it's just tough to do that quick. All right. It's time for the future flick. Oh god, this level is a thing. There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening here. Just hoping that it goes well. but it's got some really good music, so there's that. And also, there's some really cool speed tech that you can do here as well. Especially, yeah. Let's see if I can. Oh, I totally lost my jump there. That's okay. So I'm gonna use continue here. It's fine. At least it was a very quick death. I've definitely had worse. Like I recently did this for a marathon, and it very much went sideways on a certain part. But yeah, I'm just hoping. See, I'm just gonna do it a little bit safer. You can do this massive leap here. I just wasn't sure if I could pull it off there. It's really cool if you get it though. Like it is faster, precise but fast. All right, here we go. We kick this one. This one we jump over. Also another nice little. Well, I'm not sure if it's a skip. It's nice though. Nice that you could do that. Here I tried to do a similar thing, and yeah, one of the things that I didn't explain is you have this momentum. You can also hold back in order to slow it down mid-air, but you don't fully lose it. And it's really handy to set up for certain cycles there. And we're going to use it later in this level as well in order to get past certain parts really quickly. Oh, now it's time for an auto-scroller, and it's almost like the turbo tunnel or something, but yeah, it's this game. But yeah, probably a good time for me to concentrate. Yeah, so Killer Chair, if you have any thing to plug or any other info, now's a good time.
I could, of course, always say something. Well, I mean, the most important thing right now is that we are, of course, raising money for Mind, a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental health issues themselves or within their family. All your donations go to that. So I would highly encourage everybody in chat that's like, I got a penny lying around, and just drop a little donation. A little sprinkle of love for a wonderful charity.
For sure. Okay, there we go. That was actually a really tough jump to make. At least I found a somewhat decent setup for it, but it could still be a pretty tough one. There's a lot of these really blind jumps, so every single time I get through this, I'm just relieved. There we go. I'm actually really glad that I got that first try. There's when I played this as a kid, this is as far as I got, because these jumps are kind of impossible to make in a way. You really have to kind of guess where exactly the wall can be broken and where exactly you can go. So yeah, I'm just glad that it worked out. So now we've got some electricity fields. We just have to make sure not to get hit by them. You know, electricity is bad for you, I think. But yeah. Now we just do this. Slow down here. Do a kick here. This is a pretty interesting part to route, I think, because you can really utilize all the things really to the max, doing all kinds of cool things. Those TVs, by the way, I tried to kick them because whilst they're not really much of a danger in normal mode, in here they actually send off these sparks, and those are especially, they can hit you so quickly, so you have to watch out for that. I also have to watch out for these crushers. This is where I actually slow down mid-air, so I can actually set up for a cycle that I can still dash underneath it without too much issue. I almost got a really cool setup there. Normally I try to jump past that, but I actually got a certain jump in between that enemy and that TV that someone did without any bonks or anything, so I was so glad to get that. Okay, it's time for another boss fight here. We have Robo Max, who's very eager to throw around his limbs and his arms and whatnot. We just have to avoid those. And we have to wait for that until we can deal damage. This is also one of the longer boss fights in a way. So one thing I do is I actually alternate sides here. So as soon as I'm done on the left side, I'm just gonna hop over him and hop over to the right side, since I find it easier to avoid these incoming robo parts. In the meantime, you can enjoy a lot of the can-can. There's a lot of it in this level too, this boss fight. And yeah, I'm already at half of my health, so I don't really have to do anything there. I already provided half of the time save with the score countdown. Okay, and that was the boss fight. Let's go. Yeah. This is basically the same in 80% as well. Like, it's obviously shorter, but it's basically the same setup. You just alternate sides and jump on them, and that's what you do, really. Alright, we're out of feature flick, and now it's time for another minigame. So who's ready for some soccer? I hope you are. I hope I am. So it's not purely a soccer game. It's more like a matter of balancing these balls in the air and leading them towards the goal. So that's what I'm trying to do. I try to get a perfect score here. So I try not to lose any time there. Even if I would lose one of them, it would still be possible to finish it before the timer runs out. But it's going to be a bit tougher. See, this should be fine. Oh yeah, and this upcoming part is where they do a bit of a twist. Namely, I have to hit this one first and then go over there. Okay. There we go, that's a perfect score. So, one benefit to winning the minigame is actually that you don't get the animation where Tweety Bird goes after the bookworm. If you lose it, you have to watch it entirely, so that's basically a time loss. That's what you saw in Tug of War earlier. So if I would have won that, I would have skipped that too, but alas. Alright, time for the monster movie. It's gonna be scary, and there's gonna be a lot of bats. And even more bats. Yeah, especially in this category, they add a lot more of them for some reason. But it does make the routing interesting. And this is also a screen where it's really... I'm going to try and see if I can get a certain set of jumps, because that would be really cool. Let's see, there was a bit of a high jump, that's fine. And squeeze myself in between here, and then triple jump here, and then do this. That was a high jump. Okay, that's still fine, I think. I have to just jump over here, and then... Okay. Okay, apart from that one time where I got hit, that was totally fine. But this is the fastest I've been able to make this so far. Okay, so you see these paintings, there's one that's talking, and that's corresponding with these doors. So you have to enter the fourth door in this case, which is bad RNG. You can actually, depending on which frame you enter this room, you can get a first door, but it really depends. Oh, I was not gonna do that, I guess. Thankfully, we start over from the same screen. For this part, I basically try to remember, like, the bats are in the beginning of this part, so I just have to make sure not to do this quickly. Okay, there we go. And then, okay, I'm just gonna play a little bit safer because I've actually been playing both 80% and hard mode, both the difficulties I've been playing quite recently, and there's some confusion sometimes as what enemies are where here and there, so trying to remember that too. Anyway, yeah, it's time for some rising water here. Okay, can I make this? Okay, yes. There's a certain route that you can take up, and I've actually been trying to optimize this route recently a little bit. It's a slight time save, but it's very satisfying. There's some really cool jumps as well. You really get to use the full leap right here. And, well, you have to use it. I mean, you're about to get submerged, so, yeah, you just have to get up there real quick. Okay. Not so fast. Okay. And now we just ride it out. Okay, seems good. Okay, we get another hall with paintings, and now we have to see which... Oh, we actually get door 1. That's really good. So they basically mouth the words, the numbers 2, 3, and 4, which means I have to get door 1. And door 1 is, well, the closest one, and therefore it's the best one. So that's really cool. At least I got that. Right. Double candle jump. This seems good. Okay, and here we slow down, and then make a drop here. Okay. That's also a fairly recent thing. You can kick that candle and then stay on top of it if you slow down there like that. Sure. Oh. Yeah, so I believe there's a donation incoming, so yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, there absolutely is. We have a 25 euro donation from Pika Flu saying, in the famous words of the doctor, fezzes are cool. And I absolutely agree. Now, we do have quite a bit to go still for that wearing a fez incentive. So please do keep your donations coming if you want to see that for the very next run coming up.
Yeah, be sure to keep them coming for a good cause. Thanks for the donation so far. All right, that was the monster movie. We fought Max as Frankenstein, and now we have this final part here. This is basically sort of a remix of, well, it's not really a remix, but it's kind of a throwback to the previous stages where it's all suddenly, you know, it's a studio and, oh, it's movies after all, would have thought. So it's basically per room a movie. So we saw the Western, and now we see the Samurai Saga, and it's a bit of a throwback, sort of. And it's just kind of a tiny rush before we get to the final boss fight. Of course, that's once again Montana Max. No surprise there. So many cameras here, by the way. All the cameras. See, I can that one because it's easier. Okay, and then we go back to the monster movie once again. If you're really feeling like it, you can actually try and dash underneath there, and you can set it for like a quicker, cycle there. But it's also really risky and very short, very narrow. So okay, and that brings us to the final boss fight. So this is gonna be once again 5 hits, and time is gonna be on the final hit. So get ready for that, I guess. What we have to do is we have to hit the switch and then hit Max on the head, and we can basically do that 2 times per round. So it's basically 2.5 round, ideally, what you would get. There's some hitbox jank sometimes in that you try to hit Max, and either you bounce on top of him or you wind up getting hit by him instead. So there's that still. But the final hit is coming up, I think. So get ready for things. And time. All right, there you go. That was this game on hard mode. You still get the score count down, but it doesn't matter for the timing anymore. I mean, you've already beaten the game, so yeah. So now you get the final cutscene, and Max has been robbed of all his dreams. Oh no, my theater, my ambitions—it's all gone. The main exception here is because you actually beat it on hard mode, you get legit credits after that. So they're like, yeah, you cleared the thing. Awesome, you're a super player. And that's where you get to see the credit roll with all the characters you know and love from the Tiny Toons franchise. Yeah. Also, I believe there's another donation, so I guess we can hear that one too.
Yeah, of course. We have another 25 euros donated by Ras saying, gotta go Fez. And yes, indeed, we gotta. To get that goal met, we actually are just about halfway, needing another 77? Yeah, that should be it. So, yeah, people donate fast. We can still get that donation incentive met throughout a bit of the run, so... You know, don't think it's too late just yet.
It's not too late. Also, let's see, my time was at 21:38, I think. That's awesome. That's awesome. So my estimate for hard mode is usually a little bit higher than for the normal difficulty, but that was still under estimate. So I'm definitely happy about that. A couple of deaths, but this is definitely riskier because of the lower health and such. But I'm very happy with the run overall. So yeah, I'm very glad I got to show this off for all of you. Thanks again for those who donated for this. I'm very glad that this got the spotlight on the stage. And yeah, also big shout outs to the other runners of this game. It's a small community. There's 3 runners in total. Amongst myself, there's Kenneth Pachi and Bronco. And yeah, shouts to them. And if you want to learn a game, feel free to hit any of us up. It's a fun one. And yeah, thanks to BSG for having me play this game, and be sure to keep donating for Mind. It's for an incredibly good cause. So yeah, and also, yeah, thanks to the host once again. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a run of Beardblade, and that's gonna be a lot of fun as well, some platforming fun. So I hope to see you then. Enjoy the rest up till then, and I'll see you. Take care.
Yep, thank you very much. And well, next up we got Fez, so everybody stay tuned for that.